Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of PSINYS Paranormal Talk Radio Show. We're live tonight. First, let me apologize for the difficulty we had last night. Our show was supposed to air, or actually did air, but never did, except for 30 minutes of music. Was last night, Sunday, the 27th of September 2015, and we were supposed to be on at 10 o'clock. Unfortunately, something went wrong. I was out observing the total lunar eclipse last night and running the show from the backyard. Unfortunately, I don't know if I didn't have enough signal or something went wrong. I believe it wasn't enough signal coming out through there. And obviously what I was talking about last night did not come through. So we're back here tonight. It is Monday and the 28th of September 2015. And we're putting on today's show, last night's show today. So basically, I hope all you astronomy buffs there enjoyed the total eclipse of the moon. I was right there until the very end, until it emerged again. And I was hoping again to do the show from and during that, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So anyway, we had last week one of our psychics on, Lorena Miller, who is has been a member of the PSINYS team for quite some time, and to those of you who have tuned in, you know a little bit about her. And to those of you who don't know, there are it's show number 14, which you can hear in our podcast there, and pretty much she explains her psychic abilities and how it affects the investigations in the paranormal realm. Let's see. Okay, our website is www.psiNYS.com, and if you go there, you will find a link to our Facebook page, and you'll also find a link to Twitter. You will also find on the main page, it'll tell you a little bit about us here and what we do. And if you go to our team page, you'll be able to get some information on a few of our members who are on the team. You can also click investigations, which we don't have up there yet. But if you go to video, or photos, you'll see some of the photos that we've taken at Eastern State Penitentiary investigation in 2008, and that was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And you'll also see some photos of Gettysburg in that 2007 investigation, and Salem, Massachusetts in 2004. You'll see some photos on that in case, to those of you who haven't seen the page before or the website, I would say go there. And also an old site that not many people talk about anymore, but Emily's Bridge in Stover, Vermont. It's where a young lady was waiting for her lover at the bridge, and apparently committed suicide or fell in, and her spirit is known to haunt that area. So that's that part of our page. You can also click on the video link, which will take you to some of our investigations that we've done. We'll be posting more. We also have an event page, which we are about to start having some events, and hopefully we can get people to join us on some paranormal investigations down the road here. You can also hit the PSINYS podcast, which you'll find our shows from Blog Talk Radio here. The Paranormal Talk Radio shows will also be on our website. There's a few of them up there right now, and there'll be more as we go along. PSINYS is also looking for investigators to join our group. We would some of the investigators would have some knowledge of the paranormal, but we're more than happy to train. Also, to those who have some experience in the paranormal field, we will still teach you in our ways of how we perform the experiments here and scientifically. Again, the whole reason for our investigations is when we come upon an active spot or an anomalous occurrence, we don't stop there. We investigate, we gather the evidence, with traditional instrumentations that we have so far, but we also go a couple steps further. And we make sure that if we have an EVP, if we have a shadow, if we have orbs, if we have something crossing in front of the DVRs, the video cameras that we have set up, we painstakingly go through them again and again and again. The one segment where we have caught something, and we investigate that as many times as possible to ensure that it is a real anomalous activity, and that it's not something that can be explained or debunked, or just there for normal reasons. So we go through that, and like I said, it's time consuming. It's it's painstaking too, but this is something that we do, and we want to make sure that our evidence that when we get it is authentic. So, as I say, we also do paranormal and anomalous investigations. And if anyone out there has any type of activity going on in their homes, their businesses, anything that can't be explained that's going on. We're more than happy to come out and do an investigation. So, again, you go to our website, www.PSINYS.com, click the contact button, and give us your name, a way of contacting you, slight description as to what what activities are happening, and we will get back to you usually within 24 to 48 hours. So that's that. Also, another thing that we do is UFO investigations. It's been an interest of mine for quite a while, just as well as the paranormal, and I've done many UFO investigations as well during the time. We have, we again do it scientifically as possible. We have our reporting system is the same as the UFO people back in when Project Blue Book was up and running. We have a 25-page form, which is special form specifically designed for UFOs anomalies. So again, I'm going to give you our call-in number. It's 914 205-5355, and you can call us and talk about your experiences, your encounters with the paranormal. I'm going to take a short break here, and then I'll be back with the more of the show. So stay tuned. Again, our call-in number is 914-205-5355. I will be back shortly. Okay, and we're back. Our call-in number is 914-205-5355. I'd like to talk a little bit now about some breaking news from NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. NASA confirms signs of water flowing on Mars. Possibly a good reason that life may be there. All right, let's see. Scientists have for the first time confirmed liquid water flowing on the surface of present-day Mars, finding that will add to speculations that life, if it ever arose there, could persist now. So this is tremendously exciting, says James L. Green, the director of NASA's Planetary Science Division, during a conference on Monday. We haven't been able to answer the question, does life exist beyond Earth? But following the water is a critical element of that. We now have, I think, great opportunities in the right location on Mars to thoroughly investigate that. That marks a shift in tone for NASA, where officially had repeatedly played down the notion that the dusty and desolate landscape of Mars could be inhabited today. So that's a bit of interesting news there. For any of our listeners who have been keeping up with the Mars. By the way, just to confirm, because last night I was trying to put on the show and talk about the lunar eclipse here that we had, just to let you know there won't be another one, another lunar eclipse until 2033. So a little bit of ways to go on that. And I would just like to say again that we are EVPs. That's what I was going to talk about. EVPs. We've done a tremendous amount of them, as I'm sure other paranormal groups have as well. We've done it a little differently, though. The past couple of years, we've actually set up recorders throughout the place that we investigate, and we just note the room that they're in, the building they're in, the house that they're in, the time, and make sure that there's no outside interference, and we just leave it there. We let it run for several hours, sometimes overnight, and when we pick up these recorders, we download them, of course, where we can hear them better, run them through our software, and again, this is where it becomes time-consuming. We take our time, we go through these, and when we pick something up, and we have picked stuff up, we've picked up the Class A EVPs. We picked up some where we couldn't understand them, but a lot of them where we didn't even have to enhance it, it would just be in the background, and we would process it, and they would be there. And it didn't matter whether it was nighttime, daytime, 3 a.m. or 2 p.m. These EVPs were caught regardless of the time. So far, nothing bizarre, but definitely some interesting EVPs that we caught just by leaving our instruments there. So another thing I know there was a lot of hype about the so-called comet or meteor that was supposed to hit this month, somewhere around the 20th to the 25th, I think it was. Obviously, that didn't happen, so we're still here. Okay, our call-in number is 914-205-5355, and feel free to call and talk about your experiences. Maybe you would like to call in and talk about yesterday's lunar eclipse. Maybe you'd like to comment on water and possible life on Mars, since NASA's made that announcement yesterday or today. There's just several things. I mean, they're open to discussion here, and we'll welcome your call. Again, our call-in number is 914-205-5355. Take another short break here, and again, feel free to give us a call. back. Again, our call-in number is 205 or 914-205-5355. Feel free to give us a call. Feel free to give us a call and talk about things that you've either experienced or things that are unexplained. If you're having any anomalous activities, if you've seen a UFO, we could talk about the findings of water on Mars. Just feel free to call in. Again, call-in number 914-205-5355. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, since I was talking about EVPs and the sort, let's talk about something else, ITC, which is instrumental transcommunication. Instrumental transcommunication is the name that has been given by Professor Ernest Salkowitz, I believe. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. A German physicist, for the technique of contacting spirits using electronic means to capture the image or images, hence ITC, and to record their voices, EVP, electronic voice phenomena. Excuse me. The equivalent of ITC, abbreviation in French, is TCI, Transcommunication Instrumental. And in German, it's ITK, Instrumental Transcommunication. Some researchers are using also old value radios of the 50s, DVR, direct radio voices, which abbreviates in French to VDR, and are very successful. After years of activity in the domain of transcommunication research, and in all the different types of mediumship developments, our relationship has strengthened with our spirit partners. Which is good to know. It does help us quite a bit too in the field of paranormal research. We have learned how to connect with them, how to communicate with them without the spirit scientist's help. No result would have been possible. So we have been told by these spirit helpers that it was time to share our knowledge for the benefit of the people who are beginners and who have not found the help that they were asking for. So, transcommunication, ITC, instrumental transcommunication, and electronic voice phenomena, EVP, are considered as part of physical mediumship, as a spirit action is also affects the objects, the equipment, and moreover, we can notice these physical effects. Trace channeling, general material mediumship, and ESP abilities are also helpful for this research in transcommunication. We will share our knowledge in these domains. So, it is another way of communicating with the spirit world, and we've tried that a few times ourselves, and we actually have had some luck with it. We're still using that as a way of communicating during an investigation. The transcendental, the ITC communication process using video static on television screens and stuff. Let's see. Okay, call-in number 914-205-5355, and we can take your calls, and we would love to hear from you. And again, we could talk about EVPs, aliens, paranormal experiences, anything that you'd like to talk about. I'm just going to talk about our website again. It's www.PSINYS.com. And if you go there, you'll find a link to our Facebook page. You'll also find a link to our Twitter account. I also would like to take this time to thank all the people that are following us on Facebook, and the few we have on Twitter. I can't forget that. You guys, if you're listening and you're on our page, feel free to call in. We usually have our shows on Sunday nights. Sometimes we run them on Saturday and Sunday as well. It's usually 9 p.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. And, we'd be very happy to hear from some of our people that have liked us on our Paranormal Scientific Investigation New York State Facebook page. And in fact, we just got one tonight that came over to us from, let's see, let me try to find out where that is. Came over to us from Paranormal. And we'll see. Yes, EVP Paranormal. So they're a fairly new group here. And according to their page, they have about 461 likes. So they're just, like, I believe, starting out, and they clicked on our page and liked us, and we're certainly happy to have them as part of our our group here at Paranormal Scientific Investigation. So again, you're listening to PSINYS Paranormal Talk Radio Show here on Blog Talk Radio. I'm your host, Patrick, and our call-in number is 914-205-5355. I will take another short break here, and when I come back, we'll talk about another bit of space news discovery that we've heard about here. Okay, we're back. Our call-in number is 914-205-5355, and we are live. I want to talk about one more thing here, which I was part of last night's show. All right. We talking about the Kepler space probe that was sent up a few years ago. It is now has now discovered at least 1,000 Earth-like planets in our own backyard here, in our solar system, pretty much. What constitutes an Earth-like planet is a planet that is not too far away from the sun. It's in the habitable zone. It's not too close to the sun, and it's not too far away from the sun. Basically, its properties and orbital rotation would be within within that star system, just the right distance where the planet would be a candidate for supporting life, and would be an Earth-like planet. Also, water would be a part of it. As I said, this space probe has discovered at least 1,000 so far since it's been out there, as of 2015, in our own galaxy, or our own solar system. I'm sorry, galaxy solar system. And that's an exciting bit of news. Like I said, 30, 40 years ago, or even 100 years ago, when everything was, pretty much science fiction, the surprising reality is that over the years, science fiction is getting less and less science fiction and turning into science fact. So it's something to be a part of in this lifetime here. Track portrayed a lot of science fiction things, with its warp drive, with its communicators, its pads, handheld devices that would show information on certain things. And if you look at it today, here we are, cell phones, which is almost like these Star Trek communicators. The iPads and Galaxy Pad notepads and the Dell pads, stuff like that, internet connectable, pretty much like Star Trek showed back then. Also, NASA is working on, from what I understand, a process to make space travel more faster, and that is pretty much which was science fiction years ago, is soon to become a reality. All right, let's see. Ever since the sound barrier was broken, people have turned their attention to how we could break the light speed barrier. But warp drive, or any other term for faster than light travel, still remains a level of speculation. The bulk of scientific knowledge concludes that it is impossible, essentially, when considering Einstein's theory of relativity. There are certainly some serial concepts in scientific lectures. However, it is too soon to know if they are valuable. While NASA is not pushing the interstellar flight research at this point, they are investigating it. The scientists here continue to advance ion propulsion for missions in deep space, and beyond the solar system. There was also a project called Project Icarus, which is kind of right out of the Stargate. If anybody's familiar with that, the Stargate shows that were on for it was actually 10 seasons. And in Stargate Universe, there was a Project Icarus, I believe, which was trying to open up the 9th chevron to the secret unknown world of Stargate. Anyway, the European Space Agency and NASA, there is a Project Icarus that is one essential thing, and that's the development of faster than light travel. They're also working on a spacecraft design where they could actually propel this device, this vehicle, through interstellar space, cutting the time in half, if not sooner. I mean, what would take 4 or 5 years, 5.5 years to get to Alpha Centauri, which is, I believe, our closest neighbor. With the development of warp drive, it would only take a matter of hours or weeks or hours. So, science is progressing quite a bit, and with that, so is the field of anomalous investigation and the paranormal investigation as well. So we are moving forward, and soon we'll. The thing is to keep it. We need a device to actually keep the communication aside from EVPs and the ITCs. We need something that can breach that barrier to open a doorway, so to speak, for conversations back and forth with the other side, where our souls go after we leave our body. It's energy, whatever you want to call it. And when such a device can be produced, I believe that will definitely show us that there is a life after death, a life beyond, and you can actually sit there and communicate with people who have passed, your loved ones, whatever, have a conversation back and forth without the use of a medium. Right now, mediums or psychics do this, but when you can have this device that will actually open that doorway, and you'll be able to see that person, in a sense, the energy form that they have on the other side, and communicate with them, and knowing that that's someone you know, well, then that's going to be a major breakthrough in this field as well. So I am going to take another break here, and I'll again our website is PSINYS.com. You go there, you'll find links to our Facebook and Twitter. You'll also find the contact page where if you want to become a part of our team, you can send us, when you hit the contact, give us your name, a little bit about yourself, and a way to contact you, and we will get back to you on that as well. Also, the investigations, we do paranormal investigations, anomalous investigations, and UFO investigations. Again, hit the contact button on our website, that page, go to the contact page, and give us again a description of what's going on, what your activity is. We do homes, we do private residences, we do businesses. And again, the special interest of mine is as well as paranormal, is the UFOs. So I am going to take a short break here, listen to some more of this very comforting meditation music. Our phone call-in number is area code 914-205-5355. Feel free to call in. We'll be back in about 6 minutes. Okay, we're back. I know before I went on a break, I believe I was talking about the warp drive and faster than light speed and stuff like that. And I think I had mentioned the Icarus project, or Project Icarus. This is actually from the Project Icarus's page here itself. Icarus Project Mission Statement. And the Icarus Project is a support network and media project for people who experience the world in ways that are often designed as let's see, yes, as mental illness, transforming ourselves through transforming the world around us. So anyway, let's see, where is it here? Okay, I've lost my page here. But anyway, it's basically a Icarus. There we go. The purpose of the project is fourfold: to motivate a new generation of scientists in designing space missions that can explore beyond our solar system. 2, to generate a greater interest in the real-time prospects of interstellar precision missions and that are based on credible science. 3, to design credible interstellar probes that is a concept design for a potential mission in the coming centuries, so as to allow direct technology composition with the Daedalus and to provide an assessment of the monetary fusion-based space propulsion systems for future missions. And 4, to allow the direct technology composition with the Daedalus to provide an assessment of mutual monetary based space propulsion systems for intergalactic and interstellar missions. So basically, this program is real. It's not a bogus thing. And the organization is dedicated to starship research and development. So again, what was science fiction 100 or so years ago seems to be becoming science fact as time goes on here. All right. In the coming weeks, we're going to have a couple more guests, and we'll probably be bringing back our favorite guest, Lorena, who was on last week's show, and we'll be talking about some other stuff. I know that last time she was here, we talked about some of our investigations. We had talked also about her abilities, her psychic abilities, and we'd also brought up some interesting topics about some television shows and movies that have been produced that have pretty much it's like they're trying to draw their attention, people's attention to things that may possibly exist. In other words, you have an open mind. I know I was fortunate enough to see the recent Area 51 movie, where I know they made several of them, but this is the 2015 version, where a group of kids, teenagers, actually penetrated Area 51. The S4 lower level, where they had found the experiments and the children's toys and spaceships. When it comes to the spaceship, I mean, it was remarkable because, for those of you who, you've had the I don't know if I could say pleasure of working at any of those installations, or the just working at those installations. And for those who know people or have spoken with people who have worked in installations such as that, if you observe what happened to the ship when the young man was getting into it, how the door was there, and then it just sealed, and once the person was inside, you could actually see outside. 360 degrees, totally visible from inside, but not from the outside. Same as the voices. You could hear the voices of the people on the outside of the craft. They could not see or hear you. And then when it come back out, the spacecraft pretty much opened itself up. So basically, you're talking about a technology that is kind of like nanotechnology, a living machine, so to speak. And as I said, if you were fortunate enough to know someone who worked there or had been there themselves, could see that part of the movie was pretty much based on truth. And to those of you who obviously know, so it's interesting, like I said, how some of these the movies that have come out are pointing in that direction, revealing pieces of things that most people are aware of, and people who are privileged enough to know this. So anyway, that's something else we talked about. And again, we're hoping to get her back. Well, we are going to get her back. We're not hoping. And we have a wide variety of topics just with her alone that we can discuss. We're also going to be getting two more of our. They're not members, but they are people who know about us, associated with the group, and we're going to be getting one of them on September. This is September, October 10th, I believe. We're hoping to get her on then, and we're still trying to get a hold of the other lady. They both have abilities, and they both have experiences in the unknown and anomalous activities, paranormal and such. So, all right. Again, our call-in number is 914-205-5355. And I'm going to take another short break and keep the line open here, and hopefully we can get your call. Hello, we're back. We're getting down to our final segment of our show here tonight. Um, we've discussed, I've discussed a lot tonight in tonight's show. I've talked about the lunar eclipse that occurred Sunday, the 27th, which was last night. 2015, and then the next one won't be around until 2033. So, talked about that. And we talked about the detection of EVPs, that how we've set up some of our EVP experiments by leaving the devices, in a location, a certain room. Of a house or business or wherever we happen to be investigating at the time, and just shutting the door, leaving it there, and for hours and sometimes overnight. And I've actually found that we pick up EVPs. We've gotten some good Class A, even without talking to anyone. We also make sure that the surroundings are secure and that no outside interference, can be mistaken for the EVP. I've also had a few sessions where they've actually been talking to each other. So, there are some who speculate and say that these are radio waves coming through or whatever. Again, we do a lot of testing on these things, and we find out that the frequency that they're coming in at, is definitely not an audible frequency that can be heard by the human ear. It's on a very low wavelength, a very low level, where it doesn't even basically show up on our playback through our software. So, we have a pretty good idea that we're speaking to the people from beyond who have passed, in that dimension. We've also got some good answers. Answers to questions that we've done. And it's not just one question, but several during an investigation. We've gotten several of the same from the same entity with different responses to our questions that we've asked, and they've all turned out to be credible. So, and what else? And we talked about some of the investigations that I and my partner had done, who was on last week. Lorena. We also discussed here a little bit about science fiction and becoming science fact pretty fast here, and the possibility of a device where you could actually communicate with the other side. And again, a lot of things that are considered science fiction, and this is probably considered the same or pretty much impossible. It can be possible. It's just a question of designing such a device and putting it into action. So actually, I plan on opening up another part to my website. They call the multidimensional doorway, which is a project that I've been working on for quite some time. I've gotten in the model stage of it with a design concept, and I'll be putting that up and announcing details on that. But just the fact that such a device can be built and could exist would be remarkable, like I said, in this field, and would benefit a lot of people as well. Whether they have interest in the paranormal or not, the fact of the matter is we're all going to die at some point. We're all going to, someone once said it, we were born to die. As soon as we're born, we start dying. And this is true because time, as time goes on, we age and so forth. So we won't, that's for another subject we can get into. But such a device would be remarkable and would push this field right into a scientific category of enormous proportion. I prove that. So, what else? Oh yes, again, some of the shows that and movies that are being produced in the past 10 to 12 years have gotten pretty bold on some of their concepts, and I'm sure if you're listening and have watched some of them, you know what I'm talking about. And that's another subject, another show I'd like to get Lorena and me to discuss some of that, and hopefully we can get some call-ins when that happens to get your take on it. So basically, I want to thank everybody who has listened to the show so far. Again, you can go to our website, www.psinyps.com, and you'll find a link to our Facebook. We have over 1,300 likes. Just got one today. And I think, all right, let's hold on here. Before our show ends, I have a caller who just called in. It's the 518 area code, and I'll be picking that up now. Hello, caller.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing fine tonight. How are you?
Good.
You had mentioned EVPs.
Yes.
I find them interesting. And you know me, I know you, and we have done these before together. And,
yes.
So I just want to talk about them a little bit because people have probably seen them on TV when people go to when ghost hunting groups go to different settings, and it's very dramatic when they do it, and they have a lot of different special devices, and the average person may feel that that's out of their realm, that they're not going to go ghost hunting, and they don't know how to do maybe an EVP in their own house, and they don't believe maybe that they have any spirits in their own house, but that's not quite true. Even if, say, nobody has died in their house, or there was no record of anything really on the land in their house, maybe they have a new house or something, anybody can get an EVP in their house. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be, like you said, someone who died in the house or something, anything like that. Basically, the like I said, the veils are becoming more and more open lately. And I was saying earlier that we've actually done this where it's the device was placed in a secure area with no outside interference and left there, and pretty much upon reviewing the evidence, we've gotten people speaking and communicating actually with each other in that realm. So yeah, EVPs are not something that they can be picked up, and they're something that a normal person could do. You don't necessarily have to be. I mean, you have to know what to look for and have the time to pay attention to it. But yeah, EVPs can be picked up at any time and anywhere, and not necessarily because someone died or the land has been haunted. I mean, the whole world. I mean, people have lived and died, and if there's any remnants of anything, whether it's residual or whether it's communication with the here and the now on the other side, it's either way. You're right there.
Okay, so I've had some people say to me, well, yeah, nobody's died in this house or anything like that, so there wouldn't be any spirits in my house. But can you explain perhaps, I know you were explained a little bit, but can you go into more really about how the average, because this is what I am interested in a lot, is the average person, the average house, not so much places that are deemed haunted, but the average house who say someone's lived in their house 50 years and they're the first person who had lived in that house, and they would take a recorder and they could lay it out for a while and just like let it record, and so they go out for a little while, let it record, or let it record overnight or something, or just for an hour, and they come back and they play it back, and they may get something. Now, explain why you think that that person might get something where they may believe that they have no spirits in their house. Now, you were saying now there's the person's been there 50 years, and they have. Why would they have? Why do you think that they would have an EVP show up on their recording? Like, what reasons do you think?
Okay, well, it's like I said. I mean, you place your device, in a certain part of the room or any part of your house, and you let it run, whether you're there or not. You come back and you go through it, and you find out that you've got maybe a word like hello or Tom or Henry, or you have sometimes two entities communicating with each other. This, again, the place does not have to be actively haunted, nor does anyone, need to be had passed in that house or in that area. But again, as I said, the land, I mean, here and all over the world, I mean, people have lived and died in different time periods. Some of these voices may be residual. Some of them, I believe, and our team believes that because of the diminishing in the electromagnetic field of the Earth, that the veils or layers that used to keep the two worlds apart between the living and the dead are actually opening up a lot more. So you don't necessarily have to sit there and ask a question or this and that. The one thing you want to make sure is that to know the difference between outside activity, voices coming from outside the house or outside the room, and if you basically get free software called Audacity, which is a recording and listening software, and that's just where pretty much you would upload your recorder onto this, and the program, you would actually be able to tell anything that came from the outside as opposed to an EVP, an electronic voice phenomenon coming from someone from another realm, because you're as I said, the frequency that it comes through at is extremely low, way below the human hearing, and the fact that the voice that comes over is not even recognizable as far as lines go. Whereas on the recorder, when you talk, a person talks, or outside something happens, you'll notice the line jumping on the software. So
okay,
there's
right. I'm sorry, but the thing is, before even you read the EVP back, I think my question was more like, what could you expect? What could the average person expect? Say, if they have no activity in their house, but they just want to see if they get an EVP. Now, where would these EVPs come from? I know you said that some were residual, and some is because the veil is thinning, so you may be able to hear an EVP or get the EVP clearly, where maybe 25 years ago you wouldn't have gotten that EVP. But who would be in your house? Say, I know you said like on the land. People have lived and died on the land. And so therefore what you're saying there is possibly you may get a spirit who has been on the land. So they're in a different frequency. They're on the land, but are they necessarily walking through your house, or do they feel that they're walking through the field that was there many years ago? Do they necessarily see you and intelligently are they interacting, or from what they see in your house and see you and everything, or do you think that they are seeing themselves before the house was built? Also, would your great Aunt Sally or your grandfather or whoever, would they necessarily be visiting you in the house, or could you possibly pick up somebody that you know as well?
Well, yes. I mean, of course, the people who have passed, family members and stuff, do have a tendency to come back. And the people that you were talking about, that like I was saying, that are on the land and this and that. I believe one of your questions was, do they come through the house that's there now, and do they see you as you, or do they interact with you, or do they still see that as part of their land? Well, the question is kind of I mean both, because when they're obviously going to see you if they're there on the land or in your house. It's going to be different to them when they come over here, but which is what I'm saying, they're kind of breaching the barrier, but when they're still on their side. I mean, so yes, they try to communicate. Yes, they do see you. And people who have might have lived on that land at a time, maybe in an old-fashioned house or something before the original house was built. Even a tent going back to the Indian days, a teepee, whatever. Their remnants are still there. I mean, that's part of their land. So they they will come through your house. They will. They're obviously not going to hurt you. I mean, I've again, that whole demonic stuff is another story. But I believe your question is yes, and I would say yes. As far as the relatives coming back, they're usually there. They have their own place that they go to, but they have a tendency to come and visit their their siblings, their children, parents if it's a child that died, and the EVP and the transcendental communication thing done with video, yes, you will pick it up, and maybe they're just saying hello because they're in your house and they didn't die there, but they see you and they're making an attempt to communicate. But again, the thing that we need is what I was talking about too, is a device where you can actually communicate back and forth and have a conversation like we're having here. And until that happens, we still know that we are communicating with the other side. And I do believe it's because the thinness and the breach in the barrier between our world and where we go when we pass is thinned out over the past 10, 12 years, and this is why we're getting a lot more communication.
Okay, that's a good answer. I appreciate that. Now, what I think another question would be, you're in your house, and you were saying that sometimes people that they may have been in a tent here or something on your land, and then we talked about the relatives coming back. Now, what is the difference between somebody who had a tent on this land and a relative passing through? The relative passing through, they possibly have gone to the light. Has the person who lived in a tent on this land not gone to the light, or do they just come back area because they're attracted to a place where they enjoyed being?
Yeah, well, like I said, the light and the going to a place where you never come back. I mean, this is it's you consider it like. You got to consider it like this. When you leave your house and you lock your door, you have the option of coming back. After you go out, you come back. Okay, well, these the entities, the spirits, the people that have passed, their energy goes into the other dimension, which we believe is the fourth dimension, and they live there as same as they live here. I mean, obviously, there's no pain, there's no time, there's no war, no disease, and if they died sick, they're healthy. So you're in a different situation over there because you're not in the physical body anymore. Coming back, you don't necessarily go into the light and stay there forever. You have the option of coming back, and we're talking about. I know a lot of people. A lot of people believe it. A lot of people don't. The reincarnation stuff. There's more people who believe that at a certain point your soul is reincarnated and you come back. And actually, we're learning a lot more about that with people who have had memories of past lives. But yeah, you do have the option of coming back. You just don't fade away into the light.
Okay, so they do have the option of coming back. So I guess now what I'm saying too is, so you are sharing your house perhaps with people passing through. not necessarily haunted, not necessarily fixed ghosts who are there, but people who pass through, whether it be because they had their tents on their property at one point in time, and they camped out, had a wonderful time, or lived there, or whatever, or your relatives who come back because they know you and they want to see you. So when you do an EVP, you may capture, what you're saying is you may capture somebody who knows you, or somebody who is familiar with the land, or familiar with the house, maybe if it was like a prior owner. So you're not going to, when you have an EVP, it's not like a Ouija board, it's not like a seance.
No.
Correct? It's,
no.
You're capturing, you're not attracting anything to your premises. You are capturing who would already be there because they're there because for you or the property. Not
right.
You're not going to get like the ghost of Einstein or something, because he's not going to be conjured to come to your house or something because you put the EVP out. I'm just throwing that out as you're not going to get Marilyn Monroe or somebody who's passed. Just
right.
Unless they're connected somehow to you or the property, they're not going to be drawn to the place because you have an EVP out. Or somebody who's passed who is evil or something. You're not going to attract anything like that to your house. You're just going to get the people who are there because they want to be there for some reason, and they're already there.
Exactly.
They're not
you're not.
They're not coming in.
You're not.
Yeah.
Right. You're not bringing in anything. You're not attracting anything. You're not opening, a door saying, "Come on in," or evil or whatever. It's just like I said. It's because the barrier is so thin lately, and so much of this is has been done, and it's like it's to them. I mean, to the other side, it's like now when they see some of these investigators doing this, or even not, they see something on the table and. They probably figure it's a recorder because they've seen these things before, and once they get to know them, once they get to see it and know what it's for, and see the people if they're coming and going, who's doing it, you'll find you'll get a lot more reaction out of them too as well. I mean, I know that some spirits don't like it, but as long as you're not.
It's like a living person might not want to be want to talk either. Yeah.
Right. You don't want to have some. Yeah. Right. If you have a recorder shoved in your face and I'm saying, "Talk to me," it's the same as them. You got to respect them just like as if they were alive, because they, in a sense, are alive. People. It's just in a different. It's in a different realm, different frequency.
Okay.
So I hope that answered your question.
It did. I know you're getting close to the end of your show. So, no,
yes.
It's fine. I do appreciate that. I know you're getting close to the end of your show, so I appreciate your answer, and it's been good talking to you. Thank you.
Yep, same here. Thank you for calling.
Okay, good night.
Good night. All right, and that was our caller, and I hope we were able to answer some of the questions here about that. Like I said, when you again, I'll stress this one more time. When you set up a recorder, or you're doing any type of investigation, you're not drawing in any evil spirits. You're not drawing in any negative energy. You're just basically attempting to communicate either with your relatives or with someone who is on the land or has been in the property. Whether they died or not there, you're just communicating. You're attempting to communicate with them. Now, there are some places that have these so-called evil entities and demons and stuff, but not in your own home, unless, your home has been maybe a slaughterhouse or some serial killer previously lived in it. But other than that, drawing a normal household won't be drawing anything in. It's, you're just basically communicating with the other side through the thin veil, which is where we're all going to wind up at a certain point anyway. So on that note, I want to just thank the people tonight who have listened. Remember, you can always listen to us on the on-demand. We're also on broadcasting on 6 other internet talk frequencies or talk lines, internet radio shows. And our website is www.psiNYS.com. Go there. If you need any help or you have any questions, click on the contact page. Feel free to contact us. It's self-explanatory as to what you do on that page. You'll also find a link to Facebook and Twitter, as I said before. So click on that and give us a like. And we will, in our upcoming shows, we're hoping to discuss more about the unknown, the paranormal topics such as UFOs, near-death experiences, aliens, missing time travel, Bigfoot, and unexplained anomalies, which is what we love here to talk about. We also like to talk about the scientific aspect. So, from all of us here at PSINYS Paranormal Talk Radio Show, I'm going to say goodnight, and we will look forward to hearing and tune in to us next week. Good night.